but in the end, they end up regretting. Share in the chat, if you're joining us live, type in hashtag live. And if you happen to be joining us on the replay, type in hashtag replay. I would like to hear what are your biggest regrets that you have said never to, and then in the end, you'll be like, yeah, I wish I said that. I know that within the investment space, within cryptocurrency, we have people who years and years ago would say, I will never ever ever invest in Bitcoin, right? And then years down the road, Bitcoin is at 30,000, and then or 60,000 at its peaks, and then that's when they regret it, right? Generational wealth is created during those times. So, what are some of your I will never regrets? And then I was also searching online. One of the very first few things that you will get when you search online for I will never, the autofill goes in, I will never ever love again. How many of you have ever been heartbroken before, right? And then has ever come across with that thought, oh, I'm so heartbroken, I will never ever love again. And I believe that, everybody has their own heartbreak story, right? And then it's like they are unwilling to face the fact that, hey, you can move on from that imagined person that you put up on the pedestal, and then you say, I will never ever find a person like you again, right? And then, in fact, in our background, we do have a JJ over there saying, yep, John over there saying, rock on. And let me just bring JJ up on stage so that it's not so lonely over here.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah. So share with us, JJ. Today we are talking about I will never. What are
Mm,
some of the I will nevers that you've heard, and then you'll be like,
you, you
really?
you want a herd or you want I've never done myself.
Oh, let's go with you've never done yourself.
Okay, I've never for myself. I would never distract my focus. Let me explain. When I was on radio, I said I want to focus totally on radio. I don't want to think of opening up all my side businesses like a marketing business or advertising business, which I'm pretty good at, because I wanted to focus totally on radio. Because radio is my bread and butter, blah 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 blah. I regret that until today. I should have opened it.
When was the time where that regret started setting in, though?
Let's be honest. When radio was taken away from me, and then all of a sudden, I'm lost. I don't have anything to fall back on and stuff like that. Even though I have the expertise and I have the knowledge and I have the experience, but I didn't have any avenue or network to go into it. Even though I had a huge network, so it's a crazy thing because people know me for one thing, like when it comes to radio and stuff like that. People know me for that, but they don't know of all the work I do behind the scenes. So therefore, because of that, I'm not recognized for my other work. So I regretted not doing that. Another thing I regret is when I was on radio, there was a lot of work and stuff I did behind the scenes that I never took credit for because I thought, no need lah, don't worry lah, no big deal, I don't need this, blah 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 blah, and yeah.
I think it's very easy for us when things go right in our lives. We are riding on a high, and then we'll be like, it's okay, it's okay. We put it off, we put it off, and then we take things for granted, right?
100%.
Until like what you mentioned is taken away from you, and then you'll be like, I should have, right? I remember that during my early years in the speaking industry, I was working together with my partner, and then I was like, you be the front facing person, right? And then all of the testimonials, everything for you, let's focus on getting the testimonials for you. And then after we eventually split, like 5 years down the road, I was like, I should have, right? It's like, never have I thought that things would have ended up that way. I took it for granted that the status quo would stay the same.
Yep.
But it goes to show that you can never ever be too prepared, and then you just gotta do what you gotta do.
As the saying goes, the only thing that's constant is change.
Mm,
Because if I know we're comfortable, I tell you the truth, I know we're comfortable, I know we're happy where we are, but the only thing that is guaranteed is change. Change is coming, change will happen. It's just either you're going to embrace it or not, or are you going to never mind, I'll stay in this cocoon, in this bubble, I'm safe and nothing is going to harm me. But change around you is going to happen. It's either you embrace it and take chances and learn new things, move, evolve, all that. If you don't, then you'll be never ever. Never ever ever change. And then you're stuck in your same spot.
mm-hmm. Yeah. What about the example that I brought up just now? Like, people who say, "I will never ever love again." Have you
Mm,
heard of friends or people saying that, and then what happened in the end?
everybody with the heartbreak of your first love said the same thing. All of
Mm.
us, I mean, I was young once. I I had the same drama, like, oh my God, I will never, nobody is going to want me. But all of us have that. I mean, it's a human thing. So yeah, I'm like, I've heard that story. I've heard never ever so many things. I heard people, I'm never going to try that, or I'm never going to do that, or I never. Hmm. There's certain things that never, yes, like committing a crime. Yeah, that's a good thing to say never to. Okay? Don't commit a crime. But truth is, never is a dangerous word, because then you're not doing anything. You're not growing, you're not taking chances, you're just being stagnant.
Mm. What if people come to you and say, well, if you never say never, then you don't really have uh, clear values or boundaries for
Okay.
some areas.
Then
Ooh.
I'm going to say to the people, have you spoken to people who are on their deathbed? Do they, what are their regrets? They don't regret the things they do. Most of the time, they regret the things they didn't try,
Mm.
the things they said never to. Because they go, I wish lah, I wish lah. There's so many things like I wish. It's you regret the things you never try. You don't regret the things that you've done and failed and learn from it. Because I truly believe in life you either win or learn. There's no losing if you try. So never is a dangerous word. But that being said, I was a never person once also. So I won't say I wasn't that person. So yeah, we all evolve from it.
Hmm. What was well, what's the costliest never that you have witnessed?
Witness.
Yeah, so not necessary for your own example. We've heard your example, but what about others?
Oh, that's a tough one. This one is like I'm digging into other people's story. Mm. I've heard of someone who says he's never going to go back to that job because that job is horrible, but he's now back at that job working. So I'm not naming names, but I've heard people like that. So
Yeah, I think we've heard of plenty of stories where
yeah,
people would say, "Oh, I'm never ever coming back to this job," and then they burn the bridges, they swear at their bosses, and then in the end they come back with their tails in
between
between their legs.
yeah, yeah. So never is a dangerous word. But a lot of people do say never. I would love to hear what other people's nevers are. If you have a never, just put it in the comments, and we'll see it. It's like, what's your biggest never? Because look, when you talk about nevers, people talk about boundaries.
Mm.
right? So that's your boundary. So there are certain boundaries that you'll never cross. I do understand that, never. But when it comes to opportunities and experience, if you have a never to opportunities and experience, then that's a dangerous thing, because you're limiting yourself to all the possibilities that could happen out there.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think one of the most recent examples that I faced is, I've had entrepreneurs for some reason say, I will never use AI, right? I'll be like,
Sorry,
why?
sorry.
Yeah. So it astonishes me where, with the pace of growth of technology nowadays, that we still have people who are with that mindset, right? And then, what do you think is the fear or the reason being people's thinking as such when it comes to AI?
Simple. In creatives, long time ago, so that I'll never use AI because it doesn't have a human soul. It doesn't have the human touch. Next thing you know, it's creating art. Then you're like, alamak. You know what I mean? So when it comes to AI, it's because it's the fear of AI going to take over your job. The truth is, AI is just a tool. So you just have to learn how to use the tool. So long time ago, when you paint, you use, the tools you have were much more rudimentary. You caveman, you use your hand and clay, and then paint. That's art. Then more things came into play, and then you use it. But can you imagine if you that time where there more material to paint with, you go, no, 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 I'm still sticking to the past. You know what I mean? So you will be left behind because the whole world is moving forward, and you are just like, no, no, I'm safe here. I'm safe here. I know about a lot of companies, huge companies, like, nah, no worry lah, never lah, no need lah. Like, uh, do you remember Blackberries?
Yes.
Buttons, don't worry, nobody will run away from buttons. Buttons are very important. Touch screen only. Huh, who the heck wants to use touch screen only? And then, you know what I mean?
Yep, yeah. And right now, it's like, we can't even imagine a world without touch screen technology, right, within the palm of our hands.
Correct.
And yeah, so I think one of the closest nevers that I personally, was close to encountering was or thinking is, I'll never go into VR, right? I think because
Okay.
at least for the bulky technology in its current form, right? It's like I've tried it, but at this stage to embrace it, I'm not quite there yet. It's like until it's like super cooling and all of
For,
that comfort.
for me, when it comes to VR, I'll never use VR unless I can afford it, because at the moment I just can't afford it. But I hate throwing products. The new Apple VR is amazing to a point where you can design your line of sight,
Yeah,
where you want to
yeah,
put stuff, how you want to put your screens. So technically, it's your monitor. You can move it virtually, and then when someone comes into the room, you won't get like shocked like someone is there, because you can see them walking in, and they can see your eyes through that
yeah.
screen in front. It's amazing. So yeah, when it comes to VR, it's just I'm never using VR until I can afford it. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, it's more of a form factor thing. I love the technology. I don't like the form that it's currently in. I mean, especially in Malaysia where it's hot, and then if you're not in an air conditioned room, that is going to be, you know,
Fair enough.
I'll probably lose weight from a single
But
sweatshirt.
but talking about losing weight, think about it. If the VR technology becomes lighter, all right, to a
Yeah.
point where it's just a goggle over your eyes, right? You can have a personal instructor who's instructing you from the US or
Mm-hmm.
anywhere in this world, who's a celebrity instructor instructing you in your own house. You know how crazy that is?
Yeah, 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 and yeah. So right now, I think as long as we are able to take that next leap in technology when it comes to the form factor. I love how space saving it is, and it's that, and that's why I'm always open to new technology. I'm always willing to try, but then if it's not quite there yet, I'll be like, okay, I'll wait and see lah, right?
So what's your never lah?
My never wow
On the spot.
on the spot, I will never. Wow, that's a good question, sir. That's a good question. I will never.
Do PC answer, rob a bank. Then everybody like, oh, correct,
I will
correct.
never rob a bank.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would rob a bank. But then the question is, what if the bank accidentally remits funds into my account?
Oh,
Would you accept it? Would you accept it? Let's
would
say
I accept it?
let's say 500,000 ringgit gets banked into your account, and then would you just accept it?
I would inform the bank that, hey, there's extra money here. And then if the bank said, am I keep it, I'll keep it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I asked, you
Yeah.
said it's mine.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you. Christmas came early.
Yeah, Christmas came early. Let's see.
Yes.
Adrian Walker. One of the big reasons that a lot of people are resisting AI and other technologies is down to a lack of vision for the world or future they could have. Oh yeah, indeed, Adrian. Yeah, because I think that there are two general approaches when it comes to AI. One is a very catastrophic approach when they view AI as like, oh, it's going to be the end of the world, and then like JJ, you like to say it's going to be Terminator style. The robots are going to take over, and I believe to a certain extent that can be true in certain areas and forms. With the robots, the facial technology they have on robots nowadays. So even people within the service industry, right, in hotels, waiters are already being replaced by very basic robots on wheels, right? So imagine if we had that sort of robot, take a human figurine technology, that's really affordable for businesses, and it makes business sense. We are going to see it being introduced in our society very, very soon.
I think certain businesses have to be automated, like AI driven. I really think robots should be front desk, because sometimes when the front desk gets scolding for no apparent reason, it's unfair. A robot will smile through it, just like, yes, sir, I will help you. Thank you, sir. I will help you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but don't you think people will get some people will
Yeah.
get frustrated by that? It's like,
No,
oh my
but
god, I'm speaking with this robot.
But
I'm
if you get solutions, so the idea the at the end of the day is solution based. So if you still get the solutions done, you still get to vent your anger like screaming at an inanimate object, but then you get a solution from it. It's okay. It's a win-win-win for me, because at the end of the day, screaming to a human, they are smiling in the service line, like, but deep down, it's hurting them, and it eats at them. Being a real human, come on, all of us, if someone shouts at you, you get angry as well, and that's when temper flares up and then stupid things happen. But if it's a robot smiling and taking the abuse and then answering, I think it's brilliant.
But don't you think it would miss the human touch, the warmth?
The warmth, okay, then the complaints department only is a robot. Okay, complaints, go talk to the robot. Check in human beings. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, but at the end of the day, I believe technology is going to reach to a point where it will have. It's like AI, artificial intelligence. Where does the intelligence come from? It learns from someone. So you can take your best worker when it comes to customer service, and then learn the person's traits, learn whys, and let the person be the person inputting the information into that robot to create it a version of himself, which is that, and then give that person a cut because he programmed it from himself. It's like if you're a Star Wars fan, Jango Fett is basically Boba Fett's father, who the clones are all from Jango Fett. So technically, Jango Fett got a cut from each clone that was created. So same thing. I mean, it serves a purpose. If you're really good at your job, then at the end of the day, why not, be cloned to a point where it's a service line? It's the same thing. Like before this, where got machine talk to you? Hello, please put in $1. You know what I mean? Before that, where got it's just a screen. Then technology moved up to a point where it starts having audio. So it's an evolution of it. But this time it's like get someone to input themselves into it. Like I would love to create a radio DJ robot, but allow me to input myself into that robot and then let people buy it. You know what I mean? Like go ahead. Do you want a JJ on your show? Yeah, okay, here you go. Tick, 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 JJ comes up. It's brilliant. I think it would be great. And then for actors itself, can you imagine if it reached a part where it's already the Avatar, the movie, it's dots and creating everything, but it looks realistic in itself. Can you imagine now actors go, this is my digital actor self, and I'm teaching it the way it starts, like Matthew McConaughey. All right. I mean, whatever. Then Matthew McConaughey's character can continue on forever and ever. But then he gets you pay for his character, and he technically doesn't have to do anything.
Yeah,
he still get paid for it.
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, Kevin Hart actually did that for one of the commercials where he couldn't physically be there, and then they said, "Hey, use the cloned me, the AI me." And then I do see within the chat, and Nick Lakani is asking, "JJ, you will be happy to be cloned?"
Digitally cloned, and that clone, because look, all of us wish there's a clone of ourselves to do more work, because we all like, oh, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Can you imagine you can separate yourself into the digital world, your each skill set, and people pay for that skill set? Why not? I don't mind getting 4 pays.
Just make sure that they don't start having their own consciousness.
Then I have to fight myself now.
You have to fight yourself. then you would have to battle with the morality of, am I enslaving myself?
Correct. It's okay. It's fun.
Yeah, I do see Adrian also sharing. I would say my reason will be viewed as strange by many. I'm embracing it as a way to accelerating my repentance. The ancient Hebrew meaning of repentance is the word teshubah, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, which means to return to the land of my inheritance, to learn and practice agricultural lifestyle and customs of my ancestors. AI can be an enabler to accelerate this goal. Interesting, right? Using AI to go back to your roots and your ancient customs. Wow, from modern technology going back to our roots and relooking at how we do things. I think agriculture is an interesting aspect to explore in the world that we're in. And by the way, if one of the reasons why we are leaning into the topic of AI so much is because together with iSummit, together with JJ and the amazing community that we have, we are bringing in experts to help educate people in the new era of AI. So if you want to join us, the link is in the description. Otherwise, you can also see it on your screen right now. JJ will be featuring his friends and a couple more experts, some mystery guests. Maybe you'll be able to guess who they are, maybe not, at www.isummitmastery.com/gotcha live. Again, the link is in the description or in the comments. And then the other events we have is called Unlock the Power of AI. So through these events, we will be able to share with you the different tools and strategies that will help you leapfrog in the age of AI. So I'm going to share it into the chat right now. Boom. Okay, so you'll be able to find it within your comment section or in the description. So going back to our topic at hand, right? So with traditional old traditions and then with new technology, right? What are the possibilities do you personally see, JJ, when it
I,
comes to potential disruption of old ways of doing things, embracing AI or new tech?
I believe the answer is already in the movies. There's a lot of future movies that show future tech or future possibilities of what AI and stuff can do. And I'm hoping all of us want a Jarvis. All right. All of us just want a Jarvis around the house to help us out. All right. I know you say you got Siri or whatever, but no, I want a Jarvis. If you want to even move even further to even relaxation, not all of us can afford staycations or holidays in exotic places and stuff like that. So what we do is we go to our social medias and look at videos and stuff like that and go, hey, I wish I'm there just for a short peace of mind or a short, break from your reality and stuff like that. But virtual reality, can you imagine if you're immersed, like you put on like the goggles and you actually feel the sounds of the wind? I know it's not the same, but the little things like that help bring down stress levels and stuff like that. Why not? So it's the possibilities is there already. This one I'm gonna. Can you imagine the same thing for football games? I would love to go to watch a football game live, but I don't know if I ever am gonna be able to afford it. But if I'm able to virtually put on something and feel like I'm in the stadium, feel that atmosphere and feel that screaming, why not? I would rather watch football that way. Scream alone in my house. Yeah, my family will think I'm crazy, but I'm at a stadium with thousands of people. Why not? So that's the possibilities are endless. And then when it comes to AI itself can help with so many things, and give us more time back. AI is going to give you time. So that's what I'm looking forward. AI to give me more time to spend on my real life.
So one of the things that you shared was I'm here with 1,000 people or X thousand of people. The question is, are you really when you're not physically there?
Yes, I am.
What about the human connection?
The human connection will come when you can afford it.
Hmm.
I'm saying not everybody can afford it. Everybody wants the human connection. Yes, I will pay when I can afford it to go to see it live. But if at the moment I can't, and if I can pay a small fee and it allows me for a moment to be there, why not? And
Hmm.
anybody who has the idea, I've got a great idea. If you want to come, work partner with me and come up with a business model, let's do it. I don't have the money, but let's do it.
Okay, I do see Adrian asking over here. I quite like your view, Ching, about making the world a better place, reducing the loss of life through oppression, etc. Can you share, if you would like to, how you see AI assisting in this noble idea? Okay, great. Thanks for sharing, Adrian. Um, I think when it comes to AI in making the world a better place, for one, the potential to make it a better place is there, right? The question is, are we going to realize that potential? Just like at the dawn of the internet, the internet brought the opportunity, the potential to make this world a better place if people have the consciousness, the awareness on how to use the internet to tap into the educational opportunities, that has, previously been inaccessible, right? Because of geographical reasons, because of language barriers, even, right? And then right now, it's like education is virtually free and right at our fingertips. So the question is, I would say then is, you with AI, it helps accelerate the processing of the information that will help us achieve our goals. Right. So how my bigger question is, how do we align our intentions on a global scale to use AI towards the bigger goal of making the world a better place, to be able to live peacefully to one another, to be able to resolve the conflicts in our lives? Because AI, even with ChatGPT right now, we have the potential to do that. Right? We say, hey, Chat GPT, imagine you are a professional negotiator and a conflict manager, right? How would you deal with this conflict, right? And then it will give you pretty good advice. But the question is humanity's consciousness at that level to be able to use these powerful tools and their in their hands, to create a better world? Or will they just solely be focused on self-centered issues, drive us further and faster towards destruction? So that's my view.
I want to add something. It's because, look, all of us have biasness. We cannot say, no, we're not biased. All of us have a bias somehow or other inside our hearts. It's because of how we grew up, what we learn, our knowledge, so on and so forth. Can you imagine a world bias is not in the equation? It's just facts driven and what's the best outcome for. It's no greed, no bias, no all the things that have caused war. When it's just focused on results and outcomes and the best possible way forward. You know what I mean? So that could happen. Yes, I know people's argument or like, it depends on who inputs the AI, blah, 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 blah. I understand. We are talking about we in the future where that's done perfectly already, okay?
Yep. Oh, and there you go. We've got a JJ cap on as well. So there will be a future where we will be able to be in so much more control, to customize the AI, the tools that we use, so that we are able to eliminate the potential biasness, right, that we see, right? Or rather, it will be customized to our own likings and our own biasness, if that's what we are looking for. So at the end of the day, the world is constantly changing. The tools, the technology is always changing. So it's always important to understand, okay, what's the biasness of the tool that I'm using, right? And then how can I interpret or manage the output accordingly. So, because whenever we have that awareness and consciousness, then that's where we can shift and nudge it towards where we want, right? And then we can pick the tools to be able to fit our needs. Okay. And then I see Adrian also with a follow up. I would like to address that bigger question, but I would need the opportunity to share with you a mandate that was given by my ancestors. But most of them have no idea where we are in the spectrum of time. I'm waiting for that one-to-one Ching. All right, great. Yes, Adrian, we'll be in touch, and then I'll be catching up with you over chat. All right, thanks, Adrian. All right, so with at the end of the day, we are at the pivotal moment in time in human history, with AI technology that was once only accessible to the biggest corporations or governments in the world. Right now, it's right at our fingertips. The question is, what will we do about it? Right? I see Madam Tuck asking, how to clone JJ's contagious laugh with AI. Right? it,
I don't
it could
know.
it could be something just like that, right? Or it could answer the bigger questions of how do we bring sustainable peace on earth, or how do we build a sustainable society, based on the resources that we already have,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And how do we minimize wars, right? Or maybe to some of us that's a bit too big too macro. Let's go to the micro. How can I live my day-to-day life happier, more fulfilled, being at peace with my family members, in harmony with my family members, get the promotion that I want, get make the money that I want. AI is here to help us, right? So,
Yeah.
if you want to learn more about how to leverage off AI technology, join us in our upcoming event. We have one, the closest one is called Unlock the Power of AI, coming up very, very soon. You can go to www.isummitmastery.com/unlock AI, or you can go to Gotcha, Don't Let the Future Punk You, where JJ will be bringing a host of friends and experts to share with you exactly how you can leverage off AI technology to bring you to the next level, to adapt to the different changing environments so that you can build the life that you deserve, not only for yourself, but for those around you as well.
And here's the thing about AI, whatever we're using now, it's the worst version it's ever going to be. In other words, it's only going to get better from here. So whatever we're using now, if we think it's amazing, 5 months down the line, there's going to be something even more amazing. But if we don't keep up with it, if we don't understand it, if we don't immerse ourselves in it, we do not learn, we'll be left behind.
Yep, will be left behind. But with this community in iSummit in Groove Asia, join us in our upcoming events. I see Johan sharing, yep, love that thought process. And like Peter saying, love AI. I believe that within our community, we are all here to make a meaningful difference, not only within our lives, which is very, very important. It all starts with us first, then it extends to our family, our community, and eventually the world as well. So that's the vision that I have, working together with, people like JJ and all of you who are here within our community. And of course, my business partners, John Chong, Simon Leong. We have a lot of amazing, amazing people within our community and within our network that we want to introduce you in our events. So make sure you join us in our upcoming AI events. The link is in the description, it is in the chat. Join us, join us, join us. Yeah, and then if you are in Malaysia, you may even know of Tony Yusuf. Maybe you can share a bit more about Tony,
Well,
JJ.
Tony is a friend of mine, and he has evolved from the time from when he started until now. And I'm bringing him along to talk about AI as well, but also talk about journey of embracing change and learning how to adapt and grow. It's very important because sometimes we are left behind because of the fear of the unknown, the future. I'd rather stay here. In Malaysia, there is a term called katak di bawah tempurung. In other words, frog under coconut shell. So when you're under that coconut shell, the world is safe. Nothing is going on. But whatever's happening outside, it's constantly changing. So you don't know. So don't be that frog under that coconut shell. Come out, learn, experience, try. So that's basically what Tony Yusuf is. Tony Yusuf is an actor here in Malaysia, and he's done so many things, and he's going to be part of it. And who knows? I will be pulling along a few more of my celebrity friends as well.
Yep. So that event is Gotcha. Don't let the future punk you. You can join it at this link, isummitmastery.com/gotcha live. The link is also in the chat or in the description. So with that, you all have been a great audience. Let's continue making a change, making a difference, leveraging off the power of AI and the brand new technologies to come together as a community. Thank you very much, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.